welcome back to this episode of Kenpo Drills. This is Kenpo Drills episode number 8. And this one we're going to do a little bit of difference. It's not so much a drill as a stretching exercise. So let's bow in and we'll get started. Okay, in White Tiger we teach Jiu-Jitsu and show you how to add locks and other Jiu-Jitsu techniques to the ending of the Kenpo techniques when you have an arm or a handle left from a technique. But one of the first things we do when we're doing these types of classes is we will do some wrist stretching. And this is to help prevent any injuries to the student's wrist. And it's a good way to warm up, especially if you're going to be doing wrist locks and takedowns, to help ensure that you and your partner do not get hurt doing these. Now the first wrist exercise or stretch we're going to do is called the Sankyo Stretch. Now a Sankyo lock, which if you, on myself here, if the hand is pointed down, you take the thumb, you twist and you lift up. That would be a Sankyo lock. So we're going to do something similar. We're going to put the hand in front of us with the thumb down, and then when the other hand is going to come over the top, place the thumb between the bones there, grab the meaty part of the hand, and you're going to twist towards you, just like you're turning a faucet. This will stretch the wrist as well as the muscles through the arm, and you want to pull it in. So you have it out almost fully extended, slightly bent. You pull it in slightly as you turn the wrist like you're turning a faucet off or on. And then you want to hold it for a count of 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You release, relax the wrist, and do it again. And then you would repeat this several times. Now try not to pull too hard. The idea is not to see how much pain you can take. You want to just turn it just enough so that you can feel it stretching through this wrist area. Then you want to do the same thing on the other side. Take the hand and turn towards you so that the thumb is almost pointing towards the 12 o'clock position as you stretch that hand out and pull it towards you, and you should feel the stretch along the wrist and along the arm. And there again, hold it for a count of 8, and then relax, and then do it again. And you'll do this like 3 or 4 reps both sides. And then just kind of loosen up the wrist, rotating them around. And then you're going to go to the other wrist lock, which is called an outside wrist lock stretch. So you're going to put the hand in front of you, thumb grabs here, you grab the meaty part of the hand around the thumb, just like if you were going to do an outside wrist lock on someone, and you start with the hand in front of your face and you bring it down to about belt level as you turn the hand. There again, it's just like turning a faucet. And you bring it down to center and hold for a count of 8. 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the hand back up, about face level, and then go back down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you repeat. Then you're going to do the same thing on the other side, grabbing the meaty part of the hand, thumb between some of the knuckles, turn. In this case, you're kind of turning the hand towards the 9 o'clock position, straightening the thumb out to the 12 o'clock position as you bring the hand down towards your center line, or what we call the triangulation point near your belt. There again, hold it for a count of 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the hand back up, and then bring it back down. And then just relax the hands, rotate them around, loosen them up. And there again, this is not about how much pain you could take. This is just about stretching those wrist muscles and joints and tendons so that when you actually go to do a lock, they're not stiff. It's just like when you stretch out before taking any of your Kenpo classes. You don't want to go in there cold because you could pull muscles, tear groins, anything like that, and we don't want to prevent that. So there again, you want to stretch these wrists out. It's just as important to stretch your wrist out as it is to stretch your legs, arms, and shoulders out. And then you do that both sides several times, 2 or 3 times each side. And then we have what we call a gooseneck stretch. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. So we've done the, let's go over what we've done here though. So we've done our Sankyo, which is where you do the hand here and you pull towards you. Then you have the outside wrist lock, which is you pull here. And then you have the gooseneck. Now a gooseneck is where you take someone's wrist and you bend it almost in a Z, and then you push the fingers towards the elbows. Okay, then you would usually press on the elbows or have the elbow against your chest as a base, and that's what they call a gooseneck lock. So we're going to take that same lock, grabbing the hand just like we did before, meaty part over, and we're going to grab the thumb around the thumb, and we're going to bring it straight towards you. Okay, so that your hand's in almost a Z mode, and then you're going to have a slight turn at the same time, and then you hold just like before for a count of 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then let go. Start out in front of you and pull in towards you. Hold for a count of 8, and just like before, just keep repeating 2 or 3 times, and then you switch sides. There again, hand over, thumb underneath, bring it in. There again, what we're trying to do is push the wrist towards the elbows. So we want to make it, try to imagine pointing the fingers, in this case, to the 9 o'clock position, and then you just bring it straight towards your chest. Your hand should be in like a Z, and you should feel it along the back of your wrist. Okay? And then you let go, and then you bring it back towards you. And then you let go, and then you bring it back towards you again. And there again, hold for about a count of 8, and then kind of turn the wrist around, relax them, loosen them up a little bit more, and then we're going to do the final stretch that we do before we start doing jiu-jitsu as far as the wrists go, and that is a forearm stretch. You're going to take your thumb, put it on the back of your hand, fingers across. You don't want to go past the knuckles on either side, because you're going to use your thumb as a base, and you're going to try to push the fingers down. And what you're going to do here, you start off just like before, right in front of you, and you're going to bring the hand up and down. And you should feel the stretch right through your forearm. If you were to do this on a person, kind of like what we do in grasping talon, where we take the fingers and we push up on them with our arm. So you should feel that stretch from here all the way up. Now again, you're not trying to see how much pain you can take. You just want to push just enough until you feel that pull. And then stop, and then just hold it. And then you come back, and you kind of do a little loop again, and you do it again. You should feel it across the fingers and the forearms. Okay, and then we do it the other side. Just kind of hold for a count of 8. And then stretch it out like so. Okay, and those are the 4 basic stretches we do before every jiu-jitsu class, or every time we're going to start doing some jiu-jitsu locks or takedowns. And we recommend students do it before class if they can, because we don't always do it during the class. So again, we have our Sankyo stretch, where the thumb's down and we turn. So you should have a like that, put the thumb to 12. You do that both sides. And then we have the outside wrist lock stretch. You kind of come up and come down. You want to come up because that kind of releases that pressure, and as you come down, just like if you were doing the lock. Okay, that's how you would do the lock. You would bring it slowly down to your triangulation point, and you do the same thing the other side. And you just do that several times, hold it for a count of 8, and then you repeat. And then you have the gooseneck lock, where we grab here and we bring the hand into a gooseneck or C position. You want to be pushing at the same time you're doing this, trying to get those fingers pointed straight at 12 o'clock until you feel it. Again, on the other side. And then you have the forearm stretch, palm across the fingers, thumb on the back, and bring it straight up. Just like that. And then you come back around, and then you slowly do this. Don't do it too hard, and don't do too fast. And there again, this is not about how much pain you can take. You just do this until you feel the stretch. And you want to keep doing that for 2 or 3 times. And then you're ready to go for your jiu-jitsu wrist locks and takedowns. Okay? I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope this helps you loosen up and get ready for class. So until our next video, keep moving forward, and it's been great to see you guys.